Right then, guys and girlies, I promised you in the recent Shinobi white core edition that I was going to be doing videos about BitFenix fans and BitFenix, the new light range. Now, I'll explain two things. Now, like I said, I've got one of each of the colours that we've got. So the colours that are available are white, blue, red, green and orange. Now, all of the fans, I'm just going to kind of whip one open for you quickly. This is one of the white fans. All of the fans are like a smoked frame. The outside of the frame's gloss, and then you've got this kind of textured blade. If I bring you in, the camera might be able to pick it up. You should be able to get the flash on the light. There you go. You can see it's ever so slightly textured, but it's a smoked. It's a smoked fan. Just to be able to show you, the cables, they're not braided, but they're flat black cables, which is always good. And also, if you have a look, if you pull that little tab out, the LEDs will go off, so you can turn them on and off. So that's also a good feature. The connections on the end are black as well. Now, I wanted to show you that we've also got sorry about that, with the fans we've also got an extension cable, so you can basically extend this round if you do want to yeah, basically if you want to flip in so you can take it off basically somewhere else, so you can basically dangle this down somewhere. I'm not sure whether these can be like daisy chained or something so that they all join together. I don't think that they can. This is something very new to me, let's put it that way, but like I said, that does pull it out, so I'm assuming that this cable you can dangle down somewhere else so that you can take it off. But yeah, strange one. I'll have to look into it more, because this is one of the weird things, it doesn't actually say in the box on the fly LED on off switching. I think there might be something that there's a sold separately thing. I think it might be able to turn it on and off, and this might be an extension cable, so you can actually turn the fans on and off with a special tool. I think that's what it might be. It doesn't actually say too much about it. That's one of the reasons why I was a little bit confused. And you also get some black fan screws with it. Now, the main order of the day, although I have got the fans because I wanted to show you the colour ranges, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount some of the lights and a fan in the white Shinobi. I'm going to use the white one because it will show the colours off better. But what I want to do is I'm going to move all of the other lights and fans out of the way for the time being, and I'm going to show you the two different types of lights that we've got here to have a look at today. I'm just going to bring the camera in a bit. Now, we have this one, which is this is a waterproof fan. Obviously we don't tend to want a lot of water in our cases, but nevertheless we've got that option available. I think it's more just like a safety thing and like a feature really, rather than actually needing it. But if it is waterproof, then do you know what I mean, you could put it anywhere really if you think about it, although like I said there wouldn't be many places where I'd be wanting to put that and actually submerge it in water. But these fans, and the reason why I've got two of these, are the clever ones, because these can actually be strung together to make a longer line of lights. So basically I've got a long one and a short one, and I'll show you how these all go together. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the first one, which is the waterproof one. Now in there you get your little power cable, which is all black again, and you've got a positive and a female and a male Molech, so you can plug it in and you'll still have a spare one, so you can daisy chain a lot of them. And then we have a look at the actual unit itself. Now on the back there's a removable peeler, so you can obviously stick this down should you want to. But as you can see, this one, it's not massively long, because obviously there are other ones. This one is 50 centimetres long. And basically, if you have a look at that in the back of the case, it's just a little bit longer than the bottom of the case itself. But obviously we could stick that in there and have a little bit going up the sides. But what I'm going to do is we're going to have those. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the waterproof ones to be able to show you the colours, but I'm also going to just give you a little demonstration on the, might as well move this all out of the way. See, there's so much to do, but what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to cut in between all the different colours just so I can show you to have a look. But we've got the Alchemy. Now I'm going to pop into the Alchemy. This is the chainable series. Now these I really like the idea of, because then you can just keep adding them if you want. Now I've purposely got one of the smaller ones. This one is just 12 centimetres. But then I've also got a 60 centimetre one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you in even closer, just so that I can show you the, right, there we go, just so I can show you how these join together. Now, there we go. Right, I'm going to put this roughly in the right place so I know where to put my hands. There's your set of lights. But if you have a look on the end, now you're going to have to be very, I might even bring this up so I can show you. It's never going to focus. There we go. Right, I'm going to try and keep my hand still. You can see those 4 little pins on the end. If I spin it round, there's some on the other side. Now, basically in the kit, I'm going to take these out just so that I can show you. You get different types of adapters. I'm just trying to get it in the camera. There we go. Come on, Mr. Camera. There we go. Right, there's this one. Now basically this one is so that you've got an end so it can bend round corners. So you can put 2 on and obviously go around a corner. But then there's also these ones. Now if I put that in my hand like that, you'll be able to see. And that's basically how you join them together. You have those ends, and then they push together like that, and then you can add more. Sorry, there we go. They would push together like that, and then you can add more. And obviously you've got the ones that go round the corners as well. So you do get a lot of options there. And like I said, I'll just show you quickly how you can join these together. So, we have our immensely long 60 centimetre one, and then we could take, I'm going to do one of the small ones to start off with. We take the small end, we push that into there, click, snap, it's there. Then we can take the other one, click, snap, get them all lined up. Does need a bit of a push, but there you go, click, snap, and that's it, they're joined together. And then all you need to do is take your, this is the end of the power cable, this is where the other small one comes in, but you then fit this, see if it will focus on my finger, or it's focusing on that hand, come on. There we go, camera got there eventually. There's that end and that end. So there's a lot of connections, but you can, as you can see, I'm going to zoom you out quickly now if I can find the remote because it's all gone west. If we come back out, you can see that we've now got a massive long one. Hey, that's what she said. We've got a massive long one. Anyway, and you can see that big line that we've all got there, which if we were to fit this in the case, obviously we've got ends that we can go around corners anyway, but that near enough goes right the way up the front of the case as well as all the way down the bottom. So these are an amazingly good idea. Obviously where they're black, that will blend into the background. You've still got, I mean if I zoom you back in again, in out, again, that's what she said. You've still got these yellow bits, but once they're in your case you won't really notice at all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the waterproof kit, and we're going to do different fan and light combinations. So what I'm going to do is I will go through the colours, and I'm going to show you all the colours. I'm going to turn the lights off so that you can see both, and I'll also have it with the fan on and with the fan off. And like I said, just to give you a bit of a light display so you can see, and then we'll conclude everything at the end. But the reason why I got all the different colours in was to specifically show you the colour options, because one of the things with the red specifically is red CCFLs generally go pink, but red LEDs generally do stay a nice red. But I thought it would be a really good way to show you the different colours in the case, and where it's white as well, it should show the colours up lovely. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get a slave power supply ready, going to bolt some fans in, and then we can have a good look at all these different colours. Right then guys and girls, obviously this is the white LEDs. Sorry for knocking the camera there. You can see the, I'm going to turn this round just so you can see that I've got the white LED fan up in the back, but the LEDs for the in the bottom are just so bright it's drowning them out. Now you can see the white LED fan in the back there now. It's not massively bright. It puts a nice little bit of colour in there without being intrusive. Very kind of subtle looking. At night it will look great. If you've got a few of them, it'll be brilliant. As you can see with the case there, it kind of works all in together. I have still got my monitor screens on behind me so that we've got a little bit of light there so you can see the outline of the case. But now I had heard that the LEDs are bright, but God blimey, they are amazing. They are immense. That is the waterproof kit. I'm just looking over here for the packet now, and it's the 50cm waterproof kit there. It's a little bit too long to go in the bottom of that case, but dear God, that's amazingly bright. If you imagine this, say for argument's sake you had these, I'm just going to move them, say for argument's sake you had those leaning that way so that they were lighting up the bottom of your case. You get a nice light there, or obviously I'm trying to do this with them plugged in, which isn't the best idea in the world, let's face it, but it's a Tiny Tom Logan video, so, or you can have them along the top here, like lighting up the top of your case. I'm just going to flip the camera lens around so you can actually see what I'm doing. You can have them poked right in the top of your case. But also what I thought about with this case is, now I'm just going to try this in a very raw way. I'm going to try and take the top off, and knowing me, I'm not going to be able to get it off. Oh, let's do the front. Right, now again, like I said, this is all very raw, but if you had these in the front of your case, underneath, now you would get some light bleeding, I'm not saying you wouldn't, but you can see what I mean about the front strip. Now I would say that the ones that you can join together probably be best for this. And like I said, you are going to get light bleeding, but it's just an idea. I'm not telling you that's what you should do. But these are immensely bright. I'm going to turn the case back round. Yeah, you can get the idea. And that's just from one lot of lights. It's absolutely unbelievable. If you had them, probably would make sense if wrap them around the front of the case a little bit, and then yeah, that would look absolutely unreal. And don't forget, we still got that little LED fan in the back. But that's your first look at the white. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off, and the next colour we will be doing is blue. I'm quite looking forward to this one because obviously I'm a bit of a fan of blue. Right then, guys and girlies, starting off with the LED fan. As you can see, it's the same smoke design as the white fan, just with blue LEDs this time. Again, it's a very subtle look. Where it's blue, it does seem a little bit brighter than the white, although the LEDs are the same brightness, but obviously the blue just, it shows up on the white a lot better. The fan is actually on 12 volts. It's actually very, very quiet as well. Still moving a reasonable amount of air, although not a massive torrent. It's definitely engineered to be a quieter fan rather than, you know, moving masses of air. But now I'm just going to hot plug in the blue LEDs in the bottom, and oh, cool, blimey, they are very bright. One thing I have noticed straight away with these blue LEDs though is that does seem a bit more of a sky blue compared to the blue in the fan blades. I think my camera is picking it up as white. It does look like it's picking it up as white. It is blue though, it's a very sky blue. It does look white on that. Maybe if I bring it outside the case, we'll be able to get it to see the blue a bit better. Again, the camera's just seeing, it's having trouble seeing the blue. But it is it's a sky blue. Yeah, I'd be happy to say sky blue. Maybe a smidgen darker than sky blue. It's definitely a nice blue though. In the flesh, like I said, the camera is having trouble seeing the two. It does look very nice. With the white case, it does almost look a bit pastel. Maybe they did, the LEDs did need to be similar to the ones that are in the bladed fans, because the two colours side by side, I have to say, this blue on the LEDs in the bottom almost makes the fan blades, the LEDs in the fans, look ultraviolet. That's the kind of tricks that it does on your eye. But as soon as I kind of go back to that, that goes back to looking a blue colour. But anyway, that's the blue. The next colour we're going to be looking at is red. And red is a very difficult colour for LEDs and lighting cases in general. But we will see what it looks like with this. Obviously red and white may end up looking pink anyway, so we'll have to see how it looks. But it's time for me to swap the parts over again. Right then, guys and girlies, on to red. Now, as I explained, red in a white case is always going to be very difficult because it has obviously got the possibility of it bleeding into pink because of the white and the red mixing. But this, I've got to admit, the actual LEDs in the fans themselves are a very deep red, and bleeding out into the case really isn't a problem. To the naked eye, to me, it doesn't just look red. It looks what you'd expect. It'd probably look better if it was in a black case. But it still looks very good in this. Also, what you've got to bear in mind is we've still got a bit of light from my computer monitors. I left those on just so that we had a little bit of light there for you to be able to make the case out better. But if I hot plug in these LEDs in the bottom, cool, blimey, it's like turning the depths of hell on. This is amazingly bright red. Now with this red, it still does look very red. But they're quite bright, and against the white it does look a little bit orange, just a little bit. I can see in the camera it's looking orange, but to be perfectly honest with you, in to the naked eye they do look, I mean, you can see how much they're lighting me up. They do look red. At very, and I do mean at very worst, these red LEDs, very possibility of looking dark orange, and I do, but to be perfectly honest with you, in a black case they're gonna look fine. But yeah, they have got the possibility of looking dark orange rather than red, especially when you compare them to the redness of the fan LEDs. The fan LEDs, I think it's because their fan LEDs are going up against black. So the red, maybe, if they were in a black case, it might look a lot better. I think that might have been the kind of the angle that BitFenix were going for. I think I probably would like them a little bit deeper red. It does look a smidgen orange on these to me. But in a black case, I don't really see it being too much of a problem. I'm trying to sort of like put them up against stuff that's black to see whether it would really make a big difference. But again, you can put them anywhere. But the more white I'm seeing, the more I am thinking orange rather than a red or maroon. But anyway, in fact, they're looking so orange. I'm just going to make sure that it is the red one. It is indeed the red one. But what we're going to do now is we're going to move swiftly on to green. And we'll have a look at what the green LEDs and the green fan looks like in this case. But I will leave you to make your own mind up with that one. Please bear in mind, as I said, I'm just going to come behind the camera to have a look. It is in a white case and the camera is struggling to see it there. I can see it almost looks like it's on a light. But if I stand back, I've got to admit they do look a very deep orange. Maybe not quite what I'd call red. Because if you look at the red LEDs in the fan, at least from what I'm seeing, I'm just trying to describe it to you because the camera's struggling a bit. From my eyes, the fans and the LEDs and the fans do look red, and seeing them side by side, the LEDs on the lights do look a bit orange. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, and I'm going to swiftly move on to green. Now then guys, on to green. Now I can see in the camera that looks lime green. It's not. It's a good few shades darker than that to the naked eye. Obviously again the white and the lights are all playing havoc with each other, but it does definitely look a lot darker than that to the naked eye. Again, I really like these colours. Really enjoying this. It's good for me as well because I'm one for kind of like, you know, wanting to see everything. So these videos for me, I'd find them really helpful. Whether you guys do or not, I don't know. You'll have to tell me. But let's call flipping heck, blimey, Charlie. Those are immensely bright. I'd say those green ones are the brightest yet. Now in the camera, again, that looks to me in the camera from what I can see from where I'm sat, that looks very, very lime green, almost yellow. But in the flesh, this is a much darker green. It's very minty. Definitely what I would call like, I won't say spearmint green because that's generally blue on flipping. But it's a it's very green. Crikey, blinking and stuff. The fans yet again are darker green, but these LEDs in the bottom are immensely green. They are very mint green is the only way I can explain it. Very impressed with how bright these are. These are just phenomenal. I mean, even I'm just going to just quickly show you, just to show you how bright they are. That's even with a smoked acrylic panel on the side, and you can see in the roof as well. And that's literally just those LEDs. They are absolutely mind-blowingly bright. I'm amazed how bright they are. You can see straight away when I take the side panel off. I'm very, very impressed with how bright they are. I'd almost go as far as to say you wouldn't really need many of them, otherwise you'd probably end up going blind. They're absolutely bonkers. Yeah, I'm very impressed with these. Very impressed with these. They are mega bright, to the point where if I stare right at them, it almost hurts my eyes. They're that bright. I'm very, very impressed. Anyways, that's green done. We've only got orange left to do. Right then peeps, on to orange. The orange is actually very, very orange. compared to the colours that I was seeing with the red, this is definitely orange. Again, looks really good up against the black of the fans. I know Brian, aka Von Blade, will be leaving man mess all over the place about these. And the LEDs, I have to say the LEDs, the red is definitely a lot darker red than this, although the red did look quite orange, but these do look very orange indeedums. To the point where I actually quite like that. The orange in the bottom actually, as again I'm trying to describe what I can see where the camera's going to be struggling. The orange LEDs in the bottom actually almost make the LEDs in the fan look yellow now. This is a very orange, and it does look really nice. It probably look quite nice in a black case actually. I think it would look quite nice. The LEDs in the bottom, I mean, I do look quite like that. The ones in the back with that orange side by side does make the fan blade ones look a bit yellowy though. But the actual orange in the bottom is absolutely brilliant. It's a bang on the right colour for orange. I think with black it would probably look a bit better, but the white, where it's kind of like a moody kind of lit colour with the shadows and stuff, looks really nice in there. Yeah, I've actually been really impressed with these colours. But again, that's the orange sorted. Now it's time to stick the lights on and move the camera and get this video wrapped up. Right then guys, let's get this video all wrapped up. Try and push the door away. I've left the orange in there for the time being, but I'll get to that in the end. We'll run through the colours. The white LED fan, I really like that. Kind of a smoked fan with the white LEDs, look great. The white actual LEDs strips amazingly bright, brilliant. The fact that you get all the different sizes and everything as well, so you can put light in the right places, brilliant. One thing that you do have to consider though, as a whole, this goes for all of them, is the cabling. Now the cables are always going to be something that I have got a bit of a bugbear with, because I like tidy, don't like cables and stuff. So you may find that you might have to make extensions, if you're really anal like me this is, you may find that you want to make extensions for them and braid them up and stuff, just so you can hide it a bit better rather than just kind of slapping it in. But if you're the type of person that just wants to connect it up, have a bit of light, then you're not going to have a problem with it. It's just some of us that like things to be perfect, you will have to adapt them. But that's not because the units themselves are at fault, it's just some of us are very picky, and I'm one of those people, but it's not a fault with the unit, you know, itself, because obviously everyone's going to want different lengths and stuff. So it might be easier for, like, as I said, for you to wire them up yourself. But white, brilliant. The blue blade, the blue LEDs in the fans, really like that shade blue, brilliant. The blue LEDs and the strips, I think they needed to be a little bit darker blue. That might not be so much of a problem in a black case though, but with this white case is specifically, it did go a bit sky blue. It wasn't that it wasn't a very nice colour. It's just that the two shades of blue were quite different when you looked at them. Again, that could have been because of the black blades, but anyway. The red LEDs in the strips, again, they were I think they needed to be a bit darker. I did try them in a black case, and I kind of still thought the same thing, that the red LEDs weren't red enough. So maybe, you know, later BitFenix might want to think about changing those red LEDs, because again, you know, it might just be my batch, but I wasn't 100. I think they needed to be a darker red. They were going more towards orange for my eyes. Green, brilliant. Absolutely love the green. Both the fan blades and the LED strips. The LED strips did look a bit minty, but that's not a bad thing. They did look really nice. in a white and a black rig, I can see these working really, really well. I honestly don't think we see enough green either. Green is a colour that I've used in the past in White Star, and used carefully and not overdone can look amazing. The orange, as you can see here, even in with the lights on, the studio lights, in a white case, this still looks orange. And even when you put the side panel on, it goes. You can still see an orange glow on the camera. It's much brighter for me. It lights everything up. So the orange LEDs in the bottom, absolutely spot on. Problem is the ones in the bottom are so good that it honestly makes the LEDs in the fan look quite a few shades further towards yellow. Still got a bit of an orange tinge to it, but it's like a dark yellow, maybe a little smidge of orange to the eyes when you see the two together. Hopefully those descriptions weren't, you know, too in-depth for you, but I am quite funny when it comes to colour. From the back in the days of the customs and stuff, I used to spend hours looking up the right shades to go with the right things. Hellfire, one of the rigs I did, the radiators were actually 4 different colours before we found everything that I found all worked together. And just to show you how far away I go, that was actually a North American limited edition Mustang colour that was only available for 1 year. And yeah, so the colours and stuff, all I've been trying to do is explain as best as I can see them, because obviously the camera is going to be limited because of the darkness, and trying to focus on all the different shades and stuff, and I could see that the camera was just bleeding out. We were getting a lot of what looked like white, but it wasn't. So hopefully I did them justice. But the BitFenix modding range is growing rapidly, and I've got to say I am a big fan. The LED strips are a great idea, obviously, because you can get them in and stick them in and stuff like that. I'm still of the opinion that I do like the braided versions a little better, because they're easier to hide. But these, you could quite easily have them and stick them in the rigs. I'm just sticking this up the side panel to kind of give myself a visual guide for explaining, but you could still hide these brilliantly in your rig. And I think it's definitely a good alternative. And another good thing with these black ones is, especially in a black case, you're going to be able to put them, put them around, and you're not necessarily going to be able to see them very easily either. But yeah, it really depends on you. Do you like the strips? Do you like the braided lines? It's really up to you which ones you guys want. I've got to admit, these are probably the brightest LEDs I have ever used, and some of the colours are absolutely spanking gorgeous. I can honestly say I think I'm going to be using these in the future, because obviously I've got quite a few of them here now, and I can honestly see these being yanked out the box and being used in upcoming stuff possibly. But yeah, I'm very, very impressed. One thing I do need to say specifically is the whole range of LEDs, fans and extension cables, I should have said this earlier on in the video as well, are available from our friends over at Special Tech, and the regulars have all heard about Special Tech and stuff in the past. But yeah, I've been doing a fair bit with Special Tech lately. I work quite closely with them over there. So yeah, these are available from them. But without further ado, I'm going to rack off and get on, because it's now midnight. I stayed up very late to be able to get these done, and obviously I've been having to change all the bits and bobs, but I waited until it was dark so I could show you them at their best. But for now at least, this is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you guys. Out.